Hello everyone, I've had a little bit of extra time today, so I thought I'd do 2 videos in one day. I don't think I've ever done that, but I thought that I would take a look at the Constitution today, because you'd be surprised at how many people haven't even read it. And I want you, as we go through it, to understand the importance of a nation having a constitution, because what is said and mandated by a constitution is, of course, always exactly and in its accordance what the government does with the power given to it by its charter, its mandate, also known as the Constitution. Clearly, that a government would never, in practice, actually behave in a way that would make it illegitimate in the service of its very own founding document, right? Okay, well, let's take a look at Chapter 10 of our Constitution. Starts with Article 118. Citizens have the right to work, that is, guaranteed the right to employment payment for their work in accordance with quantity and quality. This work is ensured by organization of the national economy, productive growth, and elimination of economic crisis, and abolition of unemployment. Article 119, citizens have the right to rest and leisure. Well, I bet you didn't even know this was in the Constitution, did you? The right to rest and leisure is ensured by the reduction of the working day to 7 hours for the overwhelming majority of the workers. Okay, so most of us may not be in that category, but that's the idea. The institution of annual vacations with full pay for workers and employees, and the provision of a wide network of sanatoria, rest homes, and clubs for the accommodation of working people. That sounds awesome. Citizens have the right to maintenance in old age, and also in case of sickness and loss of capacity to work. This right is ensured by the extensive development of insurance for workers and employees at state expense, free medical service for the working people, and provision of a wide network of health resorts for the use of working people. Article 21, citizens have the right to education. This is ensured by universal, compulsory elementary education, by education including higher education being free of charge by the system of stipends for the overwhelming majority of students in the universities and colleges, and by instruction in schools being conducted in their native language, and by the organization of factories, farms, etc., for the vocation of the working people. Article 122. Women are accorded equal rights with men in all spheres of economic, state, cultural, social, and political life. The possibility of exercising these rights is ensured by women by granting them an equal right to work with men, payment for work, rest and leisure, social insurance, education, and by state protection of the interests of mother and child, pre-maternity and maternity leave with full pay, and the provision of a wide network of maternity homes, nurseries, and kindergartens. Holy shit. Article 123, equality of rights of citizens is irrespective of nationality or race. All spheres of economic, state, cultural, social, political life is indefensible by law. Any direct or indirect restriction of rights of, conversely, an establishment of direct or indirect privileges for citizens on account of their race or nationality, as well as any advocacy of racial or national exclusiveness or hatred and contempt, is punishable by law. Now, we might recognize this as, just to take a pause from our reading of the Constitution here, as something that we might recognize as laws of affirmative action, protections of minorities, and that sort of thing. Article 124. In order to ensure to citizens freedom of conscience, the church is separated from the state, and school from the church. Freedom of religious worship and freedom of anti-religious propaganda is recognized for all citizens. Okay, so, don't listen to those people who say that, separation of church and state is not in the Constitution, because, right here it is. And here's the part that we're all most familiar with coming up right here, and that is Article 125. 125 is subdivided into 4 very short sections, but this is the part of the Constitution every American is aware of. And of course, that is A, freedom of speech, right? B, freedom of the press. C, freedom of assembly, including holding of mass meetings, so it's actually specified. D, freedom of street processions and demonstrations. Moving on. These civil rights are ensured by placing at the disposal, Freudian slip, of working people and their organizations, printing presses, stocks of paper, public buildings, streets, communication facilities, and other materials requisites for the exercise of these rights. We're going to skip ahead just a little bit here. Let's skip over to Article 127. Citizens are guaranteed inviolability of the person. No person may be placed under arrest except by decision of a court or with the sanction of a procurator. Okay, so we've got habeas corpus and that sort of thing involved here. Article 128. Search and seizure. It says, quote, the inviolability of the home of citizens and privacy of correspondence are protected by law. Okay. Yeah, so there's your search and seizure. Article 129. The state affords the right of asylum to foreign citizens persecuted for defending the interest of people and for their scientific activities or for their struggle for national liberation. Okay, so that's clearly showing the dedication of our Constitution to not just the freedom of the citizens of our nation, but of course to the freedoms of everyone in the world, right? Because here it's a bastion of freedom, and this is we want to bring these people who are persecuted throughout the world to us. Yeah, that looks pretty good. What? Oh no! I'm sorry. I forgot to mention at the beginning of this film. We're not reading. It is the Constitution. It's not the Constitution of the United States. You probably thought that's what I was talking about. No. This is actually way ahead of its time. What we're reading here today actually is the 1936 Constitution of the former USSR, and this actually Constitution was its final revision was adopted on December of 1936. But you can see clearly just the dedication historically of the USSR to their Constitution, just as that of any other modern nation that may have survived them.